We chant. Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Hari Om and welcome back. We are covering chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita. Now in chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita, what is happening is that it is a Jnana Vijnana Yoga. In Jnana Vijnana Yoga, what Bhagavan is saying is, I am the Pratigna. Pratigna is the promise of Bhagavan is that I am going to cover the both Jnana and Vijnana in such a way that we can understand thoroughly, right? As it is our own knowledge. That is his promise. Now, but he also said that while it is easy for me to say, okay, not everyone can get it. Not everyone can get it is because only of like millions of people, only one will try to understand this knowledge, try to get this knowledge, and even among those people who are striving, only 1 in a million will get it. Why is that? Is not because it is tough, but it is because primarily many of us don't have interest for it. Many of us don't have interest for it, as in like if you notice from the outside world, if you say that let us learn about our own selves, our true self, not many people will be interested. But on the other hand, if you say like, okay, there's going to be a function, there's going to be a movie star, a cricketer is coming, obviously like the stadiums are sold out. That is one way to look at the for the first point. Among the people who wants to learn about God or about ourselves, there's another challenge is that I like God, I want to know God, but I don't want to give up my own identity, my current identity as a householder, etc. Because of that, what is happening is that all our household identity or our identity in our society, etc., that is taking us in this path in a southerly direction, and Bhagwan's uh, the path of Lord is taking us to the northerly direction. So you cannot be going both south and north at the same time. That is a challenge. And the other way to actually the other thing to look at is that the moment we say we are interested in the worldly affairs, it means that there is a desire in us. When there is a desire, is a mark that we are, it is a mark that is showing that we are incomplete and we want something. Whereas when we are going to when we are trying to approach the Lord, it is a full understanding that everything in this world is an illusion. So I don't need anything in this world. Rather, I want one permanent eternal truth. That is the way it is challenging, not because there is anything wrong or in the path itself. After saying this, Bhagavan said in verse number 4, Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu kammano buddhirevacha hankariti yamme bhinna prakriti. This is something that we started looking at. Now, then he is also going to talk about his higher prakriti. So he's going to talk about his lower prakriti and higher prakriti, right? So what we are going to do is that before let us try to understand the basic fundamentals of what Bhagavan Lord Krishna is talking about, and then we'll go from there. Then we'll go verse by verse. Let me share my screen for a quick second. I was searching for this slide last week and I could not find it. Then Hari shared it again, so thanks for it. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
So what Lord is saying is that Lord has two aspects, para and apara. Now, what is this para and apara is something like this. Anything to do with Maya is apara, and anything to do with Brahman aspect, okay, that's called as Purusha. Now, Brahman, para prakriti, apara prakriti. So, para prakriti is, think about as the reflection of Brahman in all of us. So, for example, Tattvabodha we say, Jiva Brahma Pratibhimbam Bhavati, we say, right? So, the reflected consciousness of Lord in everything is para. And other than that, all the Sthula Prapancha, Sukshma Prapancha, Karana Prapancha, Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Karana Sharira, all of that fall into this Apara Prakriti. Now, what does that mean? Is that here, Apara Prakriti has got this Prakriti aspect. Okay, so this Prakriti, when we say, is nature, right? So the nature is none other than Maya alone. Maya itself is considered as nature. Nature alone is considered Maya. So this, in Tattvabodha we have studied, right? What did we study? When Maya was created, from a creation aspect, right? When Maya was created, no, Maya was not created, but when Maya started projecting itself, how did it start? It started with the Karana Prapancha. So where all the vasanas that are unmanifest or in the unmanifest state are there, they are there. And from there, Sukshma Prapancha has come out. From the Sukshma Prapancha, then you see that the 5 elements are born. And these 5 elements were Panchamahabhutas, right? Now, when these 5 elements are born, they were in the state of Tanmatras. And from those Tanmatras, Sthula Prapancha has come. Now, from these Tanmatras alone, all the Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas were born. So that means all the internal Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, and Antakarna were all born from the Tanmatras. Now, the same model, slightly different. This model is based upon Kapila Sankhya Shastra. Okay. So we have 6 different types of philosophies in our scriptures: Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purvamimamsa, and Uttaramimamsa. So Sankhyans believed believe in a particular theory, which is fine. And according to this theory, what happened is that from Prakriti, there is a cosmic intelligence called Mahat is born. So step number 1 is from Prakriti, cosmic intelligence Mahat is born. From this intelligence, cosmic Ahankara that is born as Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So when I say cosmic, right? Cosmic means it is not for individual. So it is when we are talking about Ahankara here, this is not talking about Venkat's Ahankara or Pavan's Ahankara. Rather, it is cosmic Ahankara from which Venkat's Ahankara is borrowed, Pavan's Ahankara is borrowed, Ravi's Ahankara is borrowed, like that. Okay, so that Ahankara is born. Now, whether it is Prakriti or Ahankara, whichever one, right? So they all have, because it is nature of Maya, they all have Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Okay. Now, within from this Ahankara, only these Tanmatras are also born. 5 Tanmatras. Tanmatras are, again, the same 5 elements, Panchamahabhutas, before going through the Panchikarana process. So, Akasha, Vayu, Anala, Apaha, Prithvi, which is space, air, fire, water, and solid matter. So this is what these are born in, and they were in Tanmatra, meaning like they are in subtle form and they are invisible, and they weren't mixing with each other. Now, from this Satvika Ahankara, Jnanendriyas are born because Jnana requires knowledge. Sattva is the nature of knowledge. And individual manas. So this manas is individual. Okay. So this individual manas is born from both sattva and rajas. Now sattva because it needs knowledge, and rajas because it also needs to work. Okay. Because it is thinking, thoughts, etc. Right. And here when we say manas, it also includes mind and intellect at an individual level. And from rajas aspect and tamas aspect, karma indriyas means organs of action or thought. And of course, from Tanmatras, after Panchikarana, Panchamahabhutas are born. This is the nature of creation. This is the, what you call, this is called as a sequence of creation. Now, this sequence of creation, as I mentioned before, this is different from the ones that we study in Tattva Bodha. However, and we also said that we had about 60 different types of theories of creation, 60 different varieties of theories of creation. The reason that each theory of creation is slightly different from another is because, in essence, Vedanta doesn't believe in creation. Okay, so in Vedanta, we say there's no creation at all. Now, to come to, but however, I say that I have seen this word. Because I'm saying that I'm seeing this world, now the teacher has to say, yes, 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 I understand you're seeing this world. Let me explain. Let us say you have seen this world. Okay. Because you're seeing this world, How do you think it has formed? And then he's going back one step, one step, one step, and saying that, okay, let us say this creation has become like this. And then later on, he will puncture a hole in this whole theory, and then you realize that everything was illusory. So that's why, even though different teachers, okay, different schools of thoughts propose different theories of creation, they are primarily meant for intellectual analysis, not for uh, not for total belief. Now, I mean, one thing is that Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita, only our Hindu scriptures say that whatever I am saying, understand that it is only to for your intellectual curiosity. By the way, everything that I'm saying is false. Or whatever I said in that aspect is false. So this kind of a openness is there only in our Hindu scriptures. So what Lord is saying is that all of this you see, you think you are seeing is based upon Maya, that is called as apara. And now all of this apara prakriti is inert. However, now while this is inert, there is something beyond this inert. That that thing that is which is beyond inert, which is making all of this function, is what we call as para prakriti, and that is consciousness. Okay. So that is how he is differentiating right now. Now that differentiation is what we were seeing in verse 4, 5, and 6. So in 4, we have already chanted last week. In there, we said Bhumi. Bhumi is earth. And we also said earth means not physical earth that we are talking about, but any solid matter. So that means that in Vedanta, when earth comes, Bhumi comes, understand that any solid matter. So that means that the physical planet Jupiter is also earth. Any other stars are also earth. Any other planet, any planet on this entire universe, in this universe is earth. And you and I are also earth. Why? Because we are solid matter. And we came from that solid matter earth. Bhumi, apaha means water, analaha means fire, vayu is air, and kham is space. So if you're looking for, I'm referring to verse number 4. Okay, Bhumi, apaha, analaha, vayu, kham, manaham and buddhi evacha, mind and intellect together, along with ahankara, itiyame bhinna prakriti ashtatha. These 8 together becomes prakriti. Now, prakriti, because of this eightfold prakriti, uh, prakriti is represented with number 8. So now prakriti is represented with number 8, and uh, it has got a special significance from mathematics perspective. This is a tangential thing. Bhagwan is represented with number 9 and Prakriti is represented with number 8. If you take if you take mathematical multiplication tables, table number 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Now 1 plus 6 is 7. So, so 8, then it becomes 7. Then 8 times 3 is
24.
24. If you add 2 and 4, it is 6. So you see that 8, 7, 6, like that it is reducing, keep on reducing. So if you are with Prakriti, You keep reducing, you keep going lower and lower and lower. Okay. So 24, then 32, 3 plus 2 is 5, then 40 is just 4, 48, that is 12, which is again 3, like that it keeps on reducing. Now Bhagwan's number is 9. In 9, no matter what you do, multiply it, it always remains 9. It will never come down its value. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, whatever numbers you take, you keep on adding them, they'll still remain 9. So it's this is nothing to do with our class, but I thought this is an interesting thing that I suddenly remembered and I wanted to share with you. So, Bhumi, Apa, these 8 are eightfold Prakriti. Now, did we chant verse number 5 in the last class?
I think we did together is what I remember.
Oh,
and then you can repeat it if you want. Yeah.
if you want to, you can chant now. So maybe one of you can repeat after. So I'm going to break this shloka first. So the first word is apareya mitastvanyam. That is broken into apara, iyam, itaha, tu, anyam. That becomes apareya mitastvanyam. Prakritim vidhi me param. Jiva bhutam mahabaho. Yayedam is there, right? That is yaya idam becomes yayedam dharyate jagat. So these are the breakdown. The challenging part is just the first one. Okay, that is apara, iyam, itaha, tu, anyam. There are 5 words in them. All of them put together, it is called as apareya mitastvanyam. So please, one of you, please go off mute and repeat after me. Apareya mitastvanyam.
Apareyam mitasvanyam.
Prakritim vidhi me param.
Prakritim vidhi me param.
Jiva bhutam mahabaho.
Jivabhutam mahabaho.
Yedam dharyate jagat.
Yedam dharyate jagat.
So now these eightfold Prakriti that Bhagavan has just talked about is lower Prakriti. Lower Prakriti means apara. Para means higher. Apara means not higher. So this is lower Prakriti. And why is it called as lower Prakriti? There are several reasons it is called as lower Prakriti. Now, why? There are 7 different reasons were given that these are lower. One is the nature of this Prakriti is false, anrutam. Why is it false? If you look at this lower nature of Prakriti is everything and anything that I see in this material world, including my thoughts, is this lower Prakriti. If you see 5 elements, mana, buddhi, ahankara. So when you look at mana, buddhi, ahankara, manas is thoughts coming, thoughts going. Mind is not stable. Intellect is not stable. Ahankara is not stable. So, and the external world is not stable. So anything that is not stable, everything that is changing, how can you define what it is? So for example, I call this as pen. This is a pen. Yes, it is pen as of now. This pen was probably manufactured in 2 years ago. Let's say. If this pen is manufactured 2 years ago, 3 years ago, was this a pen? No. 100 years ago, 100 years from now, will it be a pen? Probably not. It is recycled and it is called something else. So from a time perspective, the definition that this is a pen is not valid. Now, so that is why, in the same way, the entire universe, because it is constantly changing, what you see today is not tomorrow. Hence, you cannot define anything. So whatever you define is false. So entire universe is false. That is why it is lower. That is number one. Second reason is it is called jadatvat, because it is jada, means it is inert. Anything that is inert stays inert, and it is immovable. It is nothing is going to happen unless some other force comes into play. So if this whole world is inert, if this whole world is inert, an external force is required to run this world. As a result, this is slower. Whatever the other force that is helping to run this world, that should be higher. Okay, so this whole world is inert. The one that is pushing this world is Chaitanya. So we'll come to that in a moment. And this entire world is dukkha atmika, meaning it is nature of sorrow. It is. In fact, in Adhyatma Ramayana, there is a shloka that says that when Bhagavan Sri Rama was asked to go to forest, Lakshmana gets very angry, and then Rama teaches the nature of the world to Lakshmana. At that time he says, brother, there is no sukha in this world. What you see is, in a continuous stream of a sorrow, there are some droplets of sukha here and there. And what you think is that is the world is sukha, and then in reality you are always drowning in sorrow. And why? Because from the time you are born, you're getting one step closer to death. What you think as that, like, I'm growing up, is nothing but getting closer to death. So there is sorrow there. Like that, in anything that you think that you are happy, in that happiness, if you actually look into that, it is sorrow. So, and even when you think that there is a sukha, it is the root cause of that sukha is a prior sorrow, and it is going to be followed with another sorrow. No, I don't want to, on a nice Sunday morning, my intent is not to bring down your mood. That's not what it is. So, but what it is saying is that we are, as human beings or as anything, as any living beings, this entire apara prakriti, it is going from one sorrow to another. What it means is that because everything is changing, right? The world continuously change. When the world is continually changing, change means two things. Change means the previous state is dead and a new state has arisen. Okay, so in every in every rise of a new state, the death of an old state is happening. In every creation of a new moment, the death of previous moment is happening. Because of that, the world is nature of sorrow. That is why it is apara. Then it is also ashuddha. Ashuddha means impure. Why? It is made up of three types of gunas: sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. And these gunas, in every aspect, these sattva, rajas, and tamo gunas are there. Even in a jnani, a realized master, these three gunas are there. If a jnani also has these three gunas, what is the difference between him and I? He doesn't identify with them. I identify with those gunas. That is the main difference. Right. Now, these gunas, Because of that, what happens? Because these three gunas are there, even when you want to study, you will sleep. Why? Because the body is asking that I want to sleep. So even when you want to be in sattva guna, tamas is going to drag you down. Even when you want to be asleep, rajas is going to wake you up. So like that, these gunas are not going to let you live freely. So because they are all mixed up. So the world is made up of ashuddha. So it is impure. Because of that, the world is lower, sapara prakriti. Now, we said because it is inert, it has to be pushed by something. Okay, pushed by some force. What is that force? That force we call as Bhagavan. And so now this, so how is this world is going to be pushed from what direction to what direction, which direction to which direction? All of that is defined by whom? It is defined by Lord. So this world, in other words, is under the control of the Lord. So obviously Lord is higher, then the world is lower. As a result, this is apara prakriti. Okay. And this world also can be known. Known means, so what is wrong with known? This world can be known means I can see something and I say what it is. But whatever I see is mithya. So this one we were just talking in Durdrisha Viveka. There is a maxim in Vedanta which says yadrushtam, yadrishyam tajjadam, yajjadam tannashvaram, yannashvaram tannmithya, yanmithya tad asat. Means whatever is seen is subject to destruction. It's not like everything I see, I go break it. That's not what it means. Whatever is seen that is subject to destruction means whatever is seen means is subject of these my senses, which means that it is subject of, that is made up of Panchamahabhutas. So if it is made up of Panchamahabhuta, then they all have birth. Because anything that has got birth is subject to destruction. So whatever is seen, that is subject to destruction. Yadrishyam tat jadam. Yadrishyam tat jadam, yad jadam tad nashvaram. So whatever is seen, sorry, I jumped too far. Okay. Yadrishyam tad jadam. Whatever is seen can be only inert. It can be only inert because the entire world is made up of inert objects. Because they all came from Panchamahabhutas. And because these Panchamahabhutas have a birthday, because they are all created, they are all subject to destruction. Because they are subject to destruction, at Dushyant Jadam, all that inert has a expiry date. Okay. So they get destroyed. Yen Nashwaram Tan Mithya. Now, if something wasn't there, appeared for a while, and then it is not there anymore, it is as good as an illusion. If it is as good as illusion, because it is there for a brief moment, can you call that it really existed? No, it did not exist. In that case, it is false. So, because this is the nature of world, it can be known, it can be seen, it is subject to destruction and all of that. It is lower. And more importantly, this entire world disappears when someone gains the knowledge. So, Jnanena nivartyatvat. So these are the reasons why this entire universe that I see is called as apara prakriti or lower nature. So para prakriti means it is opposite. So when this world is said false, para prakriti is satyatva. It is true. If it is jadatvam, okay, if the world is inert, this is chetana, consciousness. If the world is sorrow, the para is ananda, bliss. If the world is impure, para is shuddha, pure. And if the world is under the control of God, the para is God himself. If the world is seen, para is seer. And if the world can be destroyed with knowledge, para prakriti can never be negated. That is why this world is called apara. Now, he's saying that anyam, Bhagavan said, anyam prakritim vidhi me param. So, other than this prakriti, I must understand there's another one that is called as para prakriti, which is jiva bhutam. Jiva bhutam means this is the cause for the creation, no, cause for the jivas. Cause for the jivas means it is the only because of this jivas exist. The principle of life, jiva, exists because of this para prakriti. So here, this jiva bhutam is referring to the in Tattvaboda we just studied that there's a Tvampada Lakshartha and Tvampada Vachartha. So this para prakriti as a jiva bhuta is both Tvampada Lakshartha and Vachartha. So someone who did not attend the Tattvaboda, that is fine. Don't worry about it. Para prakriti is basically life, sensuousness, consciousness, in identification with an and this is a life principle. So the same idea, this Jiva Bhutam is, which is para prakriti, is termed as Kshetra. Kshetrajna. In chapter 13, we will see later on when we get to that. And it is also called as Sakshi. So this Sakshi, Kshetrajna, Jiva Bhutam is also called as Druk. And that is the reason why the book the Dusha Viveka has the name Druk. So this Jiva Bhutam is a life principle for both at a cosmic level and at a microcosmic level. So both at a for Ishvara also the para prakriti is Jiva Bhutam. For individual also it is Jiva Bhutam. And it is ultimate reality though is Brahman alone who is manifesting as both para prakriti and apara prakriti. So then, so what Lord is saying is that apareyamiti swanya prakriti vidhi me param. Then the word is me is there. Okay, so me means it is in me. Okay, so in me. So that means Lord is saying that both this apara prakriti and para prakriti, meaning the consciousness and the inert world, they both are in me. Eya idam dharyate jagat. So this entire world, as if they both are in me, means Lord or the Brahman is the substratum of entire universe. So without the presence of Brahman, there is no universe. So this is what Bhagavan is saying. So the goal is that the chapter's goal is he is going to teach us Jnana, Vijnana, Yoga. right? Jnana and Vijnana. And he started saying that there are two types of prakritis. One is para and other is apara. And he is both. Okay. And we'll go to the next verse. Before we go to the next verse, I want to pause and check if there are any questions. So we will chant shloka number 6. We'll first break down the words. Please check your books for this, right? For the shloka. Etad yonini. So this one is etat yonini. So there is two words, etat and yonini. Etat yonini becomes etad yonini bhutani sarvani tyupadharaya. So that one is actually 3 words. Sarvani iti upadharaya. Sarvani iti upadharaya together becomes Sarvani tyupadharaya. Aham kritsnasya jagataha prabhavaha pralayastadha. That is pralayaha tadha. Together becomes pralayastadha. Please repeat after me. One of you go off mute and please repeat after me.
Okay.
Etad yonini bhutani
एतद्योनीनि भूतानि
sarvani tyupadharaya.
सर्वानित्युपधारय
Aham krusnasya jagataha
अहं कृत्स्नस्य जगतः
prabhavaha pralayastadha.
प्रभवः प्रलयस्तदा.
So here, the function of these two prakritis are being described in this verse, apara prakriti and para prakriti. So, bhutani sarvani, nahi. Okay. Bhutani means all the bhutas. Bhutas, not ghosts or pishachas, etc. Bhu comes from the root word bhavati. Bhavati means everything that is existing. So, all the bhutas, when he says, that means Brahmadi Stapa Brahmadi Stambha Paryantani. So, Brahmadi Stambha Paryantani, what does it mean? All the way. So, usually in our scriptures, whenever they talk about all the bhutas, they don't talk about just human beings as bhutas and say everything else is meant for human beings. We don't say that we are just happy with all the bhutas, meaning all the life forms on earth, okay, as in just living beings. We also include plants. Not only we start with including plants and anything that is on earth. We start from Brahmaji. You know the difference between Brahmaji and Brahman, right? Brahman is the essential reality. This essential reality, when it is looked up in the form of creation, like in the form of this universe, we see that it has got 3 aspects in them. One is that something is constantly being manifesting, and they're existing for a short period, and they are dissolving into something new. So when this thing is going on, when this cycle of manifestation and unmanifestation with something in between for a brief period, this is a continuously going, this we call as samsara. So when something is manifest, what it means is that whatever is unmanifest, it is projected as manifestation right now. It appears right now. So this function where something is being created, okay, it's not creation, but in reality it is manifested. Okay, that aspect we call as that. For that, we actually gave a form. For this functionality, we gave a name to this that is called as Brahma. This Brahma is one with 4 heads, whose wife is Saraswati Devi, etc. So we normally in a regular language we call him as a creator. Creator means he has to create something that did not exist. Whereas in our Vedanta, just like in science, we say matter can neither be created nor destroyed, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So whatever was unmanifest, that is being manifested by this Brahma. And whatever that is manifested, that has to be taken care of. That role has been given to, and that role is visualized as Sri Mahavishnu. And whatever has been manifested and maintained, it has to unmanifest. And the role of that unmanifestation is given to the visualized form called as Shiva. So it's not a destroyer. He is just dissolving whatever manifested, it is pushing it back to unmanifest form. That's all. Okay, so these are so when here, why I'm saying all of this is coming back, Bhutani Sarvani, when this has come, Brahma Stambha Paryantani. So even this Brahma is also a Jiva. If you visualize Brahma as someone who is married to Saraswati Devi and he's doing all this creation, that is also a Jiva, and this Jiva also has a particular lifespan. It is something in terms of trillions of years, 4.32 trillion years or something like that. It's in Bhagavatam. So, but this is a Jiva. So, among all Jivas, this Jiva Brahma has got longest lifespan. And this Brahma, starting from this Brahma, all the way, we say Pipilaka, we say. Pipilaka is, what is it? Pipilaka is a termite, a white ant or a termite that is underground. And for our rishis, that was the smallest visible life form. So usually they say, Brahma Paryantam Pipilaka, something like that. That's what they say. So means anything that is existing all the way from Brahmaji to these termites, everything included. So understand that bacteria is also included, viruses are also included, everything are included. So all of them, all these bhutas, that's what it is saying, movable and immovable. All these bhutas, etat yonini. So all of these, etat means all this, okay? Which ones? Okay. All of these objects have their cause. Yoni means cause. Yoni means the place of birth. The place of birth is called as yoni. And all of these have their cause, but you are born because of something. That cause is also called as yoni. All of these objects, and they all have cause in what? In me, as Paraprakriti or Aparaprakriti. So all the bhutas, all the beings from Brahmaji to, and all of them have their cause in Paraprakriti and Aparaprakriti. Iti Upadharaya. Iti Upadharaya means understand in this way. So Upanishad says Lord is cause of everything. So now sometimes what happens is people have, especially like when we are influenced with the Western religion ideas, when they seep into Hindu culture, what happens is that we do get idea that Lord is different from us. Bhagwan is other than me. Bhagwan has created, but now something bad, someone else is there, something bad is going to happen, in which case I am responsible. And in this bad person, there is no God. Then that's the most important thing. In this bad person, there is no God. That kind of a misconception is there for us. Our Upanishads say, Lord is the cause of everything, Lord is everywhere. So when Bhagwan is saying that I am both para prakriti and apara prakriti, whether a person is a good person or a bad person, whether it's a good thing or bad thing, God is in everything. Aham कृत्स्नस्य जगतः प्रभवः प्रलयः तथा. So, aham means I, कृत्स्नस्य means entire jagat. So when he talk about entire jagat, we are talking about the prapancha at sthula, sukshma, karana, all these three levels. So now you see the Tattva is coming to help everywhere. Like when we are able to use these terms a little bit more freely, right? So now, did I probably I mentioned this before, but Jagat means universe, right? Universe is called as Jagat. Do you know why universe is called as Jagat? So Jagat, Ja is full letter, Ga is full letter, T is half letter. So this Jagat, Ja represents Jayate. Ga means Gacchate. In between, Tishtate. So Jayate is representing the rise, birth. Gacchate means going away, meaning dissolution. In between, Tishtate, for a small period, it is there. So, me as Venkat, Jayate, it happened in last century. Gacchate is going to happen in this century. In between, whether it is 70 years or 90 years, however long that is, Tishtate. Now, why are we calling it as Tishtate very small? Simply because in the lifespan of this earth, this is 50 years or 90 years doesn't matter. Forget about lifespan of earth. How many of us know our great-grandfather's father's name? Anyone? We don't know. Most of us don't know. I mean, like most of us know our grandfather's name, and some of us know our grandfather's father's name, but not beyond that. We can't remember. So think about it. This is 2024, right? In 21-24, probably there won't be anyone in this world who would be remembering this. Right? So what it is that we're talking about the insignificance of human life. So because of that, Jagat, the two, it hasn't been given as importance as Ja and Ga. So that's why Jagat. So this Aham Krishnasya Jagataha means what he's saying is that this entire for this Jagataha, Prabhava Pralayaha Tatha. Prabhava means rising. And Pralayaha means dissolution. So I am the cause of this entire Jagat's upcoming and going away. That is what his Bhagwan is saying. Okay. So now give me 1 second. Let's go. Sorry about that. Like while I was talking, my notes are somewhere and I went. Prabhavaha tadha pralayaha. Yeah. So prabhavaha is also referring to the material. So I am the source. When he's saying that I am source, he's talking about upadana karna, or the material cause of this universe. Pralaya is also referring to the sentient cause of the efficient cause of the world. What do you mean by upadana karna? What are this nimitta karna, the efficient cause, and the material cause? Let's understand this. If, let's take this pen. This pen has been created, yes? Yes. How is this pen created? The pen is created from plastic, some ink, something else. Okay, so basically primarily plastic. So what is the material cause of this pen? Plastic. This material cause is called as upadana karana. Now, just because there is a plastic, did this pen happen? No. Why did this pen happen, or why is this pen created? Someone decided that this pen has to be created. So that could be a pen manufacturing company. In this particular case, it's a branded pen. So that means that a marketing company, a marketing department in a company has decided that we want pens with our company name on it. So those people are the cause for, are also cause for this pen. So plastic is the cause for this pen, and one who decided that there should be a pen, it's also cause for this pen. So those people are called as nimitta karana. They are, in English, it is translated as efficient cause. So for this pen, there is a upadana karana and a nimitta karana, a material cause and an efficient cause. So when God is saying, I am the source of this universe, prabhavaha, so what does it mean? I am giving the material for the creation of this world. So that means he is material cause or upadana karana. This part is clear? Now, when Lord is saying, I am the cause for dissolution. Now, how to dissolve something, do you need material? Not much. You just need to destroy. But when we say dissolution, what is implied is there is a decision has been made by a sentient entity that it is going to be destroyed now. So that means that Lord is nimitta karana. So Lord is both upadana karana and nimitta karana for the world. So in anything in the world that you see, anything in the world you see, for any creation, the upadana karana and nimitta karana, the material cause and efficient cause, are different for everything in this world. However, for the creation of this world, though, both upadana karana and nimitta karana, meaning the efficient cause and material cause, they both are one and the same. Abhinna nimitta upadana karana. That's what they say. Can I take a couple more minutes? Let's finish this chain of thought. So, if why we are talking so much about this cause, effect, etc. What's the big deal? So what? Okay, so you okay, God is cause of everything. Fine. Okay. God is also efficient cause. So be it. So what? What is in it me? Okay, what is in it for me? What it means is that when abhinna nimitta upadana karana means if both the material cause and the efficient cause are one and the same, then the product is no different from the cause. So let's understand a little bit more thoroughly, carefully. When if I made coffee from coffee powder, then coffee powder became coffee and I am the maker. So I am different from coffee, the end product. Yes? So, but if I made coffee from myself and it is still within me, then am I different from coffee? I am not different from coffee. I mean, it's a silly example. Okay, because there's no such thing in real world that can be cause for both. So here, when God is both both the efficient and material cause, upadana and nimitta karana, the creation that is created is no different from God. Everything is in God, as God all the time. That means whether you call it as apara prakriti, whether you call it as para prakriti, all of that is created within God and stays within God, and it is no different from God in any form or manner. To understand this in a slightly different way, God has created the universe. Yes? Now, if you say when God has created the universe, if God is here and the material is here, and using this material, he created a universe here, then there is a flaw in this argument. What is the argument? God is already there. So God is already there. Material is also already there. So God did not create this material. Okay? So somebody else must be on top who created this God and this material. Okay? So let's go to that God. If you keep on going like that, you need to come to a conclusion that God must have created material from his own self. So that is a God is a upadana karana. Now, where is God creating? Like, who has the knowledge to create this universe? If you say like someone else gave the knowledge to God, the same problem comes. So there's somebody other than God. So you have to say that the knowledge is inbuilt in God. So he is the efficient cause. Okay. Now the third question, where did God create the universe? If you say God is here and he created universe there, which we say somehow think, right? Oh, God is there. Kind of thing. Okay. If you think like that, who created that outside of God? If God is already created, outside of the God is already there, then there's something other than God already existed. So then God is not supreme. Right? So then you have to agree that the creation has happened within God. So creation is done with the material from the God, with knowledge of God, and within God. Now, the other question is, did God change before and after creation? Like usually, like we have those pictures, right? Before and after pictures when a contractor started working, before he did the remodeling of the house and after remodeling of the house, or maybe this weight loss drugs. Before I took this weight loss drug, I was 450 pounds. Now I am 250 pounds. So like that, was there any change in God before creation and after creation? No, there's no change, absolutely no change, because God is not changeable. So whatever creation that is we are talking about is it is within God. So first of all, it is illusory. Okay, any creation that you are seeing is illusory because there was no change, absolute change in God before and after creation. And if you're still seeing this illusion, understand that it is everything, all aspects of that is God alone and nothing other than God is in there. Okay, so that means everyone in this Zoom call, including this Zoom call, including the backgrounds in our Zoom call, whether they're real backgrounds or blurred backgrounds like some of us, or virtual backgrounds like some of us, all of them are God alone. This is the point in this particular verse, which is saying that एतत् योनीनि भूतानि सर्वाणि इति उपधारय अहं कृष्णस्य जगतः प्रभवः प्रलयः तथा. So God is abhinna nimitta upadana karana. That is what the Sanskritam term is. So that means same material and efficient cause of this universe. So I know I took 10 extra minutes, so I'll pause here, and if you have any questions, I can answer those questions, and then we can go from there. So if there are no questions, shall we conclude?
No questions, just very complex concept today. So takes time to understand, correlate. So maybe we'll come back next week.
Okay, yeah, we'll review this concept a little bit.
Yeah.
See, please understand, our goal is not to rush and finish the subject, rather understand the subject thoroughly, because see, like if you understand Jnana Vijnana Yoga in itself completely, right? This chapter alone, if you understand completely, you understand the entire knowledge. Then the nature of Lord is completely understood. That is what is more important as opposed to covering shloka after shloka after shloka. Right? And we are not in any hurry. We don't have we are not on any thing like, okay, this curriculum has to be finished by end of this year or anything like that. So we'll conclude. Oh. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ. Thank you all. Have a great day and happy Navratri. And happy Dasara, because when we see Vijayadashmi is already done. So
Okay. Happy Dasara.
Thank you.
Venkat.